Are you ready to finally make that dream a reality? Maybe it's updating your kitchen, paying down high-interest credit cards, or covering tuition. Your home is more than where you live. It's also your most powerful asset. At Unlock, we make it simple to turn equity into options. With a home equity agreement, you can access cash today without taking on monthly payments. Imagine the freedom to invest in your home, reduce financial stress, or finally start that big project you've been putting off. It's your home. It's your future. Unlock it today. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
Okay, Vince, we keep going. Hey, welcome back, everybody. People on the video side are like, what in the world is King Gursky doing? But that's what we have to do. 24:55. I took the breaks. We can let producer Scott know. Scott also goes by Matt as well. So I think our final topic here, Vince, is going to maybe take us a little bit longer. And that is once Brazeau and Achari come back into the lineup, and you do have sort of Tristan Brose banging on the door. By the way, weird situation, wasn't it? Bring a guy up for one game, he watches two, and you send him back.
Yeah.
I didn't get that at all.
I didn't either. I didn't get it.
Anyway, Brazeau and Achari come back. I think we can pretty much know that Boko Imama will go back. Whether that happens Sunday afternoon after we record this podcast or Monday or whatnot, that's almost a given.
Yeah. Just a quick thought on Boko Imama.
Sure.
I love what he brings to that fourth line. You can tell the guys skate a little taller when he's in the lineup out there.
Did you see some of the stuff Clifton was doing the last couple of games?
It's a notable difference when he's in the lineup with some of the other guys are doing out there, because they know that he's sitting on the bench ready to have their back. And, I know that he's the first candidate to be sent back, but I would consider finding a place for him as the last guy on the roster on that fourth line, because I don't know. I mean, he could play. He scored a lot of goals in junior. He could play. I know.
I'm not going to argue against keeping Boko. I just from a personal standpoint, there is nobody better to talk to in the locker room than him. Dan, come here. Yes, those arms. I mean, dude is jacked. First of all, and those hands are like when Boko Imama waves you over, you don't say hang on.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe he could be a scratch on a lot of nights, but when you're playing against the Philadelphias of the world, and Tampa has a lot of tough guys, and it's nice for the other guys on the roster to know that he's back there. And like I say, I mean, to me, it's noticeable. The guys are skating a little taller when he's out there in the lineup.
I know. The thing with Achari, though, is Achari is so versatile and useful on the penalty kill. That fourth line was so good defensively. I don't know. Maybe to pull on the thread of your point, what Muse was doing was, he was kind of rolling a bit of a rotation on that fourth line when Boko was in there, because Boko played like 9 minutes. You saw Ben Kindle take a few shifts down there. You actually saw Evgeny Malkin center the fourth line a couple of times against Tampa, and doing things like that to limit Boko's exposure, so to speak, but also keep him in the lineup. I don't know, though. The easy decision is to just put Achari back there, because that fourth line is so good before he was hurt.
Yeah, because Boko's, like you said, he's not going to penalty kill. He's obviously not playing on the power play, though. I'd like to see him in front of the net on power play. So
go ahead, move him.
Yeah, but to your point, I understand it, but just wanted to, note, like, when he's in the lineup, it definitely has a different feel and a different look to it.
Yeah, I wonder if Blake Lizotte goes upstairs with the stick like he did.
Yeah, if he's not in there.
If Boko is not in the lineup. But I think the three players who maybe are on the bubble to lose their lineup spot would be Kevin Hayes, Tommy Novak, and Ville Koivunen. If Ville Koivunen hadn't scored against Tampa and hadn't picked up his play in the last 2 games with Rutger McGroarty, I would have said he was the easy decision.
Yeah.
But you see the upward trend coming with Koivunen, and he's 21 years old. So that has to factor, which I don't know how important that's going to be, because it seems like Tommy Novak, Vince, is in the lineup. He's in there. No matter what you think, no matter what I think, it looks like the organization thinks something entirely different, and he's in the lineup.
Yeah, this is going to be a very odd comparison, but hear me out. It's almost like the Daniel Sprong situation, where he would get a game on the top line and then he would be scratched the next game. That's kind of where I'm seeing like the Tommy Novak. Like, he will very likely play on the top line tonight against Dallas, but nobody would have any problem or even question if he was scratched the next game. It's just kind of that situation. Like, and again, like, I never mean anything personal against these guys.
Right.
It's almost like he's in the lineup, but he's just kind of out there taking up space. Like, to me, now he did have 2 assists the other night, if I recall, but he never does anything like that jumps off the page to you, like noticeable. Or
impact is the word I've been using and writing. It's hard to find an impact. Now, there have been some defensive gaffes, 2 big ones over the last 4 games or so that were quite costly. And we diagrammed them on Twitter, so on and so forth. I don't need to rehash them. And I also kind of felt like Kevin Hayes has been a little bit inconsistent, but he also, it seemed to me, figured out what he could bring to the Sidney Crosby line and brought it. I mean, he does have a real creative streak with the puck. And it doesn't have to be, through the legs, around 3 guys and whip a great shot. It's just those little touch passes backward that you don't see. And all of a sudden it opens the play, and it's spinning off of a guy on the wall and delivering the puck to the open man. Just little stuff. I began to notice that he was playing pretty well. I don't get a vote in this. Dan Muse doesn't exactly poll the media on what he should do. Kevin Hayes would be the guy I keep beside Sidney Crosby. And if I'm seeing who comes out, to me, it's easy that Tommy Novak is the guy right now that would come out.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make for a good podcast, but I 100% agree with you. Like I said, to use your word, he doesn't make that like impact out there. And, a lot of people could argue, okay, Koivunen doesn't either, but he's 21, like you said.
Well, I will also tell you, Koivunen can. I mean, Koivunen inconsistent. I should acknowledge that in full stop. But the last couple of games, that third line was really good defensively. They actually had quite a bit of time against Tampa's top line.
Yes. And
when they were on the ice, that includes Koivunen, allowed 1 high danger chance, which in that game is insane.
Yeah. I was going to say that third line with all the young guys, every guy on that line did something impactful. And I love that line. And I love the fact that he actually had them out there. I think there was 2 minutes left in that Tampa game. He had that line out there.
Exactly.
They seem to be thriving playing with each other. But again, to your point, I don't know. Novak to me is the easy guy to take out of the lineup. But
I think we both agree that Novak won't be the guy that comes out.
No, he won't. It'll be Koivunen or Achari or somebody like that. Yeah. Hayes does have a little bit, some, decent hands too. Just the goal that he scored in Philly, I was like, whoa, where'd that come from?
Well, that's the old Kevin Hayes, right? I mean, he was a second line center until he sort of tangled with John Tortorella because he didn't play hard enough or wasn't hard enough to play against and all of those sorts of things. And that if you look at Kevin Hayes' career, the downward trajectory began almost immediately when he quarreled with Tortorella.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever that's worth.
I like having that size with Sidney Crosby too. Like we see how well it's working with the Malkin line, having that size. I like having a bigger winger with Crosby to kind of create that space. So, I mean, just that alone would, kind of lean me towards putting Hayes up there. Like I said, it doesn't make much for an argument or a debate on a podcast, but I agree with you. I mean, the decision seems pretty easy to me.
All right. So to wrap this up, now we're recording this on December 7th, as I recall, a day that will live in infamy.
Pearl Harbor Day.
Also, I never talk about my personal past or anything like that. I did choose December 7th to get married as an inside joke to myself.
Oh, no.
Are high-interest credit cards or personal loans weighing you down? Unlock gives homeowners a smarter option. With a home equity agreement, you can tap into your home's equity for cash today. There are no monthly payments. Here's how it works. Unlock provides funds upfront and in exchange shares in a portion of your home's future value. That means you keep control with the flexibility to use your equity your way. Pay off bills, invest in home improvements, or set aside savings for peace of mind. For thousands of homeowners, Unlock has been the key to moving forward without the pressure of another payment. Put your equity to work for you. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
We had several dates to choose from. And knowing full well this is also oh my God, it's coming up on 30 years. Anyway. Long ago, nullified. That's a different life, but I did choose December 7th. Anyway, December 7th, day that will live in infamy. Do the Penguins make the playoffs, Vince?
I think they do. As I said earlier, I don't think they're winning the division. I think that they're either like a third place in the division seed or one of the two wild cards. I think you're gonna watch some games and you're gonna be like, oh no, they blew another 3-goal lead in the third period. What are they doing? This team isn't playoff material. And then you're gonna watch another game like the game on Monday in Philadelphia, and you're like, this team looks like a Stanley Cup contender. I'm not saying they're a Stanley Cup contender, but you're gonna see games like that too, and you're gonna say, whoa, maybe this team could do something in the playoffs. And it's kind of going to be like that all season. But I think the position that they're in right now in a playoff spot, I think, if you're in a playoff spot or in, Thanksgiving and especially at Christmas, the statistics show you're probably going to end up as a playoff team, obviously not considering injuries, things like that. But
yeah, well, that's the thing. Sunday morning, the Penguins essentially had 3 games in hand. Well, they do have 3 games in hand on the Rangers. I'm sorry, the Red Wings and the Devils. They've got 3 games in hand on. They all had 33 points. So in theory, they could have, let's call it a 4-point on average, a 3 or 4 point lead on those teams. They had 4 games in hand on the Rangers. So let's call that a 5-point advantage. Those are not insignificant.
No.
I guess Sunday is one of those games in hand. So if they happen to beat the Dallas Stars, those numbers I just said get even better for the Penguins. And, if the Devils don't keep Jack Hughes away from team dinners, it's going to get rough for them. Although they're talking about Quinn Hughes trades and they're talking about Steve Stamkos trades. I mean, the trade rumors out of New Jersey, and we have a little bit of a pipeline to New Jersey, and I can confirm that I'm hearing the same stuff that, New Jersey is burning cell phone minutes like they're going out of style, trying to upgrade and improve. I don't see how the Rangers can really improve, especially now with Adam Fox out. Let's just say they were to acquire Eric Gustafsson, who I also can confirm that Detroit was not willing to trade him to the Penguins a month ago in exchange for a mid-round pick. Detroit wanted more. So the Rangers aren't going to, go big on Eric Gustafsson. And even if they did, that would be kind of funny because he's not going to elevate their game.
I was going to say, how much of an impact is he really going to have?
You've got Vincent Trocheck, maybe gruff, grumbling a little bit with Mike Sullivan. Mika Zibanejad doing the same thing. Like there's just the tiniest seeds of friction there between players and coach. I don't see the Rangers making a run here. And the Red Wings, they lack that A player. I mean, Dylan Larkin is a good number one center. He's fine. But in terms of number one centers, he's kind of average.
Yeah, and their goaltending is not good.
What I thought John Gibson was the answer there. I guess not.
No, he's actually not been very good at all. I mean, he's been splitting games recently.
Yeah, and until New Jersey upgrades, they've just been so both snake bitten and inconsistent. Like Jacob Markstrom was supposed to be the answer.
Yep.
And he'll look like the answer, and then he won't. And then he does. And it just everything about New Jersey seems to be off. Like there's just not a foundation there. They're scrambling is kind of how I feel about them. And I kind of look at the Penguins, and for the ups and downs that Justin Brazeau or the rest of the lineup might suffer, there's still Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
As long as he's healthy, I think they're the best of that bunch of teams.
Yeah. None of those teams you just mentioned have Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Erik Karlsson. None of those teams have guys like that. And I mean, at this point in the season, that Crosby and Malkin have the same amount of points, and I think they're in the top 20 in the NHL in points, and obviously Crosby's top 5 in goals. I mean, I didn't see it coming. I mean,
no. And I'll tell you, like I mentioned towards the top of the show, what a good mood Sidney Crosby was in yesterday. I mean, he's laughing and smiling. He's talking about the Olympics like, I don't care where we let's just play. 3 feet will make a difference. Yep. But frozen lake, parking lot, he's in.
Yeah.
And the winning and playing around with Ben Kindle and being one of the kids or one of the guys, whatever it is, it's a pretty good situation. The Penguins, despite me grabbing a shovel last Saturday night, Sunday, when the Toronto Maple Leafs just clobbered them, I thought that was the end, Vince. I honest to God said, okay. And the bottom dropped out.
And
it didn't.
I went to that game as a fan. One of my buddies was in town. He comes to one game a year. That was one of the worst games I've ever. I don't want to say ever seen in person because I've been covering the Penguins for 25 years. So I've seen.
You and I sat through Generation Next and all that. Yes,
but boy, that was one of the worst games I've seen in the last 10 years. That was bad.
Well, it wasn't quite as bad as the drubbing December 17th of 2023 when they lost 7-0 on Hockey Night in Canada, and they were ripping each other in the locker room. And it wasn't quite that bad up in Toronto, but it was
rough. It
was ugly. And yet 48 hours later, they all but manhandled the Philadelphia Flyers. Go figure.
Like you said, I had the shovel ready. It wasn't near the mound of dirt, but it was.
I dug into it. I will full on admit that maybe I jumped the gun a little bit in shovel. I had to actually grab the shovel and then take the dirt back.
Yeah. I mean, nobody, I don't blame you for it. I mean, that was just a really, really bad performance.
And it was on the heels of a really bad performance that turned out to be a win in Columbus, on the heels of getting just whitewashed against Minnesota, on the heels of a really bad game that they collapsed against the Seattle Kraken. And I was like, okay, that's a handful of games. We're seeing it. And I was wrong.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny that Minnesota game and the Toronto game are literally probably two of the worst games that they've played, and we'll just say that the last 5 years. But they're in a playoff spot right now. They've probably played two of the worst games that I've seen in the last 5 years during this season, but they're still in a playoff spot. So
that's all I think you need to say. Yep. That is Vince Comunale. I am Dan Kingerski. Like, share, subscribe, download. Skywrite for us if you're willing to. You can hang some posters on some light poles and do all of that fun stuff. No Pucks Given episode 42. We'll, of course, I think I will be able to, since there's actually some home games. Yeah. I will actually be at my home for more than a few days consecutively.
That's wild. Wait until February when they're on the Olympic break.
Actually, I might travel just to, I don't know how to make my own bed anymore. I have to have someone come in. Anyway, all right, that's Vince Comunale. I'm Dan Kingerski. It's been a blast. In the meantime, have fun.
Are high-interest credit cards or personal loans weighing you down? Unlock gives homeowners a smarter option. With a home equity agreement, you can tap into your home's equity for cash today. There are no monthly payments. Here's how it works. Unlock provides funds upfront and in exchange shares in a portion of your home's future value. That means you keep control with the flexibility to use your equity your way. Pay off bills, invest in home improvements, or set aside savings for peace of mind. For thousands of homeowners, Unlock has been the key to moving forward without the pressure of another payment. Put your equity to work for you. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.